back to the channel. Today we're finally going to be installing something that I purchased a couple months back, and I just have not had the time to install it. There's just been other things that I've been trying to take care of, especially tuning, and the time has come to finally get this installed. So let me go ahead and pull that package out and show y'all what that is. Alright, so you guys can probably already guess what this is, judging by the size of the box. Now this gray tape, this was, I taped the box back up, because whenever it showed up, like I said, I bought it a couple months ago. It's probably been like 3 months. And I opened it up, inspected it, make sure everything looked good. So then I taped it back up and then just put it off to the side. So let's go ahead and get it open. So if you guessed it was a hood, you are absolutely correct. Man, this thing looks good. All right, so what kind of hood is it? So I got this hood from Maverick Man Carbon. There's two types of hood, I guess, that he sells. I don't know if he actually makes them or he has somebody else, but anyways, there's this one, which looks very similar to the factory one, except that it has some vents. I believe this style vents come from the Camaro, is it the Z28, if I'm not mistaken? And then he has another hood that he sells too, which is a cow hood. I think it's like 4-inch tall cow hood. I just don't like that. To me, it's a little bit too aggressive. And so I really wanted something like this. Now, ultimately, where I would have loved to obtain the Blitz hood, the one that has like the Z01 style vents. Unfortunately, no one carries them here in the States anymore. And I believe the company that makes them is over there in Australia. Now, the problem is shipping. It's just, from what I've read, it just costs way too much to ship. That's the downside. I would have loved to have gotten that hood, all carbon fiber, but I had to settle with this one. So this one was my second favorite one. For those that have been trying to obtain this hood or knows anything about Maverick Man's hoods, you know, they're really hard to get, I guess, because they sell out real quick. And whenever they do have some in stock, it's not a lot. Previously, I was checking the website pretty much every single day, but that got tiring, or sometimes I would just miss it whenever they did come in stock. So what I ended up doing was just writing a little bit of computer code. And I wrote my own program, which would pretty much go and check the website for me like every 5 minutes or so. I could tell it when to go do it. And that's how I got lucky enough. So it notified me whenever this came in stock. And so I bought it right away. You know, I wouldn't say it's cheating. I just, you know, programming was something I picked up on the side and I decided to use it here. All right, so yeah, that's pretty much how I got this. Now this thing looks so good. The only downside about this is that these hoods don't come clear coated, so it's like a gel coating that they put on top. So the best thing to do is actually put, if you can get them clear coated, get them clear coated, or, you know, apply some sort of protection like a sealant or something like that, like a UV protection, something that helps against UV. Because ultimately what ends up happening if you do not do anything like that, the UV will start pretty much turning this yellow. So I do plan on ceramic coating it, and hopefully that would help out. And plus this car is garage kept, so hopefully that will, you know, help out. Now the other thing too with this is that there's no sort of insulation on the underside of the hood. You know, some people do run them without insulation or that liner, but I decided to go ahead and buy one. And then the one I bought comes from, I guess it's made by DEI. So this is the one that actually Maverick Man recommends or has on his website. But what I ended up doing is using the descriptions on his website. I pretty much looked it up online, found it on DEI's website, got the part number, and then I actually found it on Amazon for about like 40 bucks cheaper. So that's what I ended up doing, and this is what came in. So yeah, it's pretty thick and hopefully it'll help out. So what I plan on doing is flipping the hood over, installing that, and then, you know, I am gonna have to cut a piece out for right here. That way, you know, heat can come out. Once I have that liner installed, I'll go ahead and put it on the car. Now, something else to help with the installation of the liner is I bought this roller on Amazon too. Once I have the liner laying on the hood, then I'll just roll it, and that will activate the adhesive and, you know, get the liner to stick onto the hood. And then I'll use, I guess, the back side of this too to push down on the liner and really get it down in those grooves and crevices and stuff like that. All right, so I got it flipped over. So from looking at this, there is gonna be a couple things I'm gonna have to transfer over from the stock hood onto this one. Looks like some rubber stops that go like right here. I think that's really it. So let me go ahead and grab the liner that I bought, and let's just lay it down and make sure that, I mean, I think it's gonna be enough, but let me just lay it down on top. All right. Okay, so that does look like it's barely enough. So I think it's the right amount. I don't really have any wiggle room to move this up and down. I think this is the right size width and also length. Now, I could use the factory liner and take it off this hood and put it on there, but I really do not want to cut this up. This one is actually a replacement to the original one that came with the car, and it was a little bit difficult to obtain. So I really do not want to cut this one up. That is why I opted for buying this. I can cut this up, and, you know, worst case scenario, if something happens, I can always just order another one, and they're really easy to obtain. All right, so this is where we're at. I finished putting the liner down and then pressed it on and cut off any of the extra material. Yeah, my cuts aren't the best, and I kind of screwed up a little bit right there. I ended up going a little bit past this way, but whatever. So I got that done, and then next up is gonna be taking off that hood and transferring over anything that I need to transfer over, like these things. The spray nozzles here for the windshield wiper, I don't actually need those because I don't have a windshield wiper reservoir because my heat exchanger is down there. So more than likely, I will not be transferring over that. I'll just probably route this line somewhere over here and then just zip tie it onto something, just get it out the way. All right, now that I have the factory hood off, I think the next thing we got to do is we got to take off these and transfer them over to the other hood. So these come off real easy. You literally just twist them off. That one's off. So there's a total of 4. All right, so I got all 4 out. All right, so I got the rubber stops, whatever they're called, transferred over to this hood. And regarding the, I guess, hardware, so this is what Maverick Man sent in the box. On the factory hood, there are studs, but those are pretty much integrated with the hood. There you can see it. And these are the washers slash nuts that that come with the factory hood. So with the carbon fiber hood, they do supply, I guess, some hardware here. Now, the only difference is that it came with these little washers, which I'm not going to be using. I actually had some bigger diameter washers here inside of my toolbox. And so I'm going to be using those with the supplied stainless steel bolts. So let's go ahead and get the hood on. Alright, so there it is, guys. Finally got the hood wrapped up and installed. Man, this thing looks good. I apologize for the wind. Down here in Texas, we finally got our first cold front, or cool front. So decided to pull out the car and take it out for a little spin. But man, that thing looks good. All right, so real quick, let's talk about fitment. So it took me about me personally, it took me about an hour to finally get everything situated and in the position I wanted it in. So I do have a little bit of gaps right here, and same thing right here. So, you know, with an aftermarket hood, it's not going to be exactly like an OEM one. But I did reach out to a couple people that actually run these hoods, and the feedback I got was that, yeah, it pretty much, this is the same fitment that they had. You know, there's a little bit of gaps here on the side. So like I said, I tried my best to, you know, move the hood around or get it to sit like this. So overall, I mean, like I said, I think it could have been a little bit better, but honestly, this thing is so beautiful. I mean, it looks amazing that you're not even really paying attention to that. And I do like that through these vents, I don't know if y'all can see it, maybe a little bit right there. I can see the blower, which is nice. And then obviously, so the heat is now going to be coming up through here. So that was the main reason why I wanted a vented hood, was just, you know, to allow heat to escape. Man, it's really windy. Let me go ahead and open up the hood. That way y'all can see what it looks like from underneath with the insulation installed. And if you guys watched my previous video, I did recently get the headliner redone, and now it's with black suede. So if you're interested in you know, seeing the whole removal of the headliner, go ahead and check out my previous video. Now I am planning on installing hood pins. That's the only thing that's pretty much left that I didn't get to do, and I need to order those, because I don't know, I mean, a lot of people don't actually install the hood pins and they've been okay with it, but you know, with my luck, it's probably best that I actually get that done. So that's something I'm gonna do later. Alright, so there we go. So this is what the underside of the hood or bonnet looks like. You know, I didn't do that great of a job cutting the insulation, but whatever, I mean, it is what it is. Maverick Man does recommend you to use some sort of insulation, especially if you're generating a lot of heat underneath, like in the case of forced induction. So, you know, which is why I went ahead and got this installed. Hey guys, I apologize. The wind was blowing pretty bad. So one of the reasons I also went with this vented hood was because this helps with, you know, cooling down the supercharger and possibly lowering down my intake air temperatures. I believe it has. So from looking at the intake air temperature logs from before versus now, seems like my temps have dropped. Not a lot, but looks like 4 degrees. So previously my intake air temperatures would hover around 22 degrees above ambient. Now they're about 18 degrees above ambient. So definitely a plus. Yeah, so overall, I think the installation was pretty straightforward. Now, if you're wondering how much did all of this cost me, so the hood itself was about $12.75. Okay, plus to ship it was $330. I live in Texas. It comes from Cali, if I'm not mistaken. So depending on where you're at, shipping might be a little bit more, a little bit less. And then taxes was about $130. So in total, just for the hood, came out to be $1,730 and some change, plus the installation. So in total, I would say about 1,800 bucks. Anyway, so that's it. Let me know what you guys think about this.